We are working on slide 14. I do want to remind you about the assignment from yesterday, finding slope task cards. I only have 29 responses, so I'm missing quite a few. Make sure you get that turned in. Make sure you mark your answer as an integer, fraction, or improper fraction. If undefined, type undefined. If zero, just type in a zero. You don't have to type out the word zero. So make sure you get this done and turned in by the end of the day. So we are on slide 14. So find slide 14, the one that is labeled graphing linear equations. If it's not on 14, move it to 14. You can go to grid view if you need to. And if you do grid view, which is down here, then you can find the slides a little easier. See, we're almost done with this unit. We need to do this one and then 3 more, and we're done with the unit. You know what that means? There is a test coming up, but we're not going to do it before Thanksgiving break. We're going to do it after Thanksgiving break. You're going to forget. We'll have a review. All right, so we're going to go to graphing linear equations. So whenever we first start talking about the skills that you're going to learn for this unit, a lot of people felt pretty comfortable graphing linear equations. So we are going to do a review on this, and then the assignment will be about just graphing. So I'm going to zoom in on my left-hand side. Okay, so graphing linear equations, we are going to do some drag and drop to fill in the blanks. So it says, number 1, we're going to have it in y equals mx plus b form. That is our slope-intercept form. The m is the slope. So drag and drop slope over here. The b is your y-intercept. So if you have it in y equals mx plus b format, then you know your slope and your y-intercept. So number 1, plot the y-intercept, also called the b. Drag and drop b over here. Start at the y-intercept and use the slope to count up or down. So you're going to start at your y-intercept and then either go up or down depending on what? Indicated by your slope, which is your rise. So I need to add in a text box. Indicated by the rise. I'm going to color this text box too. Then count. We are only going right, but sometimes we can go left. Then count right. So let's make another text box. Then go right. The number of spaces indicated by the, we need another text box, run. So rise is going to be your up or down. Run, we are always going to go right to get our next point. Plot a second point. Plot more points using the method described in step 2. And then connect all of the points to form the line. To form, well, we need a line right here. A line. So connect all the points to form a line. Okay, so use the draw tool for the line. We have y equals 3x. So our slope is, if we do rise over run, what will it be? 3 over 1, right? So I'm going to do 3 enter 1 and then underline my 3. So it actually looks like a 3 over 1. And then on here, we don't even have a plus b. So that means that my y-intercept is 0. So the line that we're graphing is y equals 3x. So our slope is 3 over 1 and our y-intercept is 0. So we are going to use the points here. We're going to have to get a few more points. So we'll take 1. We first graph our y-intercept because that's what it tells us to do. Plot the y-intercept, which is also called your b. So the y-intercept on this is 0. So 0, 0. So it's our origin. Plot a point on 0, 0. Then for our slope, we are going to, I think it tells us over here. We don't have to do anything. Start at, what do we need to start at? 0, right? Because 0 was our y-intercept. And then count up 3 because it's rise 3, run 1. So we're going to start here, and y'all watch my cursor. So stop what you're doing and watch my cursor. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 over 1 to get a second point. So I'm always going to go right to get my next point, but then I need a line to fall, another point to fall in line with this. So what is the same as going up 3, right 1? Yeah, down 3, left 1. So watch my cursor. 1, 2, 3, left 1. Now connect it with a line. So I'm going to start at in the middle of 1 point. So get your line tool and then make it go through those points. Now I'm going to extend it on both sides. I'm going to color my line and make it thicker. So remember how to make it thicker? Color the line is right here. And then to make it thicker is the one right beside it where it says line weight. I'm going to do 3. And then right beside that, you can make it dashed if you want. We're not going to do that. But then right beside that, it says line start. Because lines go on and on forever, I'm going to make that have arrows on the left side and on the right side. So make it have arrows, please. Whenever you graph your lines on paper, make sure whenever you line up your ruler, I want y'all to use a ruler or some kind of straight edge. Line up the ruler or the straight edge right underneath your points so that whenever you draw your line, it goes exactly through your points. Okay, so let's check the other side of this. Well, go ahead and look to the left, and we have slope-intercept form. We filled that out. We have slope and y-intercept. Purpose. When an equation of the line is written in slope-intercept form, you can easily find the slope and y-intercept of the line. Then you can graph the line using this information. So we have our slope and our y-intercept. So it's pointing at the 2, so slope is 2 over 1, right? M equals 2. We can just leave it as M equals 2. And then B, which is our y-intercept on this one, equals 0 because there's nothing there. Okay, then the next one says slope. Our slope is negative 2 over 5, so let's make it look like a negative 2 over 5. Move this up a little bit more. So I need to make it look like a fraction, I'm going to underline the negative 2. Make sure y'all can see that pretty good. And then the y-intercept, there's not one, so it's a 0. Okay, we are done with the left side. Does anybody need to see anything on this that you may not have gotten? Let's go to the right side. Drag and drop the points for each graph. If you need to, use the line tool to draw the lines for the slope triangles in the final line. Color rise green, run blue. Don't have to do that. So let's zoom in so we can see number 5 better. I need some more points. So see how we have this point? Well, we need to copy and paste to get a few more. So Control C, Control V. So I'm gonna get a few more points and then drag them to each one of these boxes so I have some points. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. All right, example 1. We need to graph our y-intercept first. So our y-intercept is, so I'm going to put B equals negative 4. So that's what we are going to do first. And then what about our M? There's nothing in front of X, so M equals 1. So what that means is rise 1, run 1. I'm just writing a little note out to the side so I remember what I need to do in order to get my line. So I graph my y-intercept first, so graph it at negative 4. Then I'm going to rise 1, run 1. So starting on 0, negative 4, on that y-intercept at negative 4, go up 1, right 1. Do it again. Rise 1, run 1. Do it again. Rise 1, run 1. Need more. So rise 1, run 1. Rise 1, run 1. I'm going to do one below too. So down 1, left 1. So I want you to put as many points as you can on there, and then draw a line through those points. Okay, we need to change the color of the line. I'm going to make it blue this time. I don't know what I made it last time. Did I make it blue last time too? And then change the thickness. And then add the arrows on it. I want mine to be 3. 4 was a little too thick. There we go. Okay, so on each problem, I want you to write or type B equals, M equals, and then what your rise and run are. And then do as many points as you can and draw a line through it. You need to pause the video so that y'all can work on 6 and 7. Okay, let's look at number 6. So we need to type some stuff. So first thing you do is your y-intercept, which is 2. And then your slope is going to be -4 over 3, which we need to decide what does that mean. So it's rise -4. But what does that really mean if you rise a -4? Yeah, so we're going to put fall 4, run 3. If you want to put rise a -4, run 3, you could do that too. Whichever makes more sense to you. I need these points out of the way. Okay, so we'll start on +2. And then down 4, right 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3. Can I do any more points? 1, 2, 3. No, because I would have to go up 4. This one is 1, 2, 3. Nope, I need to go up 4. So I can only do 2 points on this one. So I'm going to delete these other 3 points. I don't need them. So we only have 2 points on that one. Let's add our line. So start in the middle, go down, and now extend my line in both directions. And make it thicker and color it. Put arrows on the end. So that is example 6. Oh, I forgot to do underlying the -4, so it actually looks like the fraction. Okay, do you have any questions on that one? No. Okay, let's go to 7. Move these points over so I can type. Okay, so my y-intercept, B, is -1. And my slope is -4. So what does that mean? If it's -4. How many am I going to rise? Or am I going to fall, really? Yeah. Fall 4, run 1. Or like I said earlier, you can write it as rise -4, run 1. Whatever one makes more sense to you. Just know that this is a negative slope, so the line will go downhill. So our y-intercept is at -1. From the y-intercept, I'm going to grab another point. I'm going to go down 4, run 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, run 1. I need some another point if I can. So I'm going to grab another point. Instead of going down 4, right 1, what can I do from our y-intercept? Up 4, left 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, left 1. So connect your points using the line tool. Color your line. Make it a little thicker and put arrows on the end.
Teachers, at this time, I need the following students.
Okay, one other thing I want us to write down. So we're done with the slide about graphing, but I want us to look at our journal real quick and write some reminders down. Graphing linear equations. So one thing to remember is if you see f of x, that means the same thing as saying y. So you can always replace, if it says f of x equals 2x plus 5, you can rewrite, if you want, as y equals 2x plus 5. Okay, what if we have y equals 3? How do we graph that? Remember yesterday on our slope task cards, if we have y equals 3, it's supposed to be written as y equals mx plus b. So in order for it to say y equals 3, what would mx have to be? What would m have to be for it to go away? If it's 1, it'd be 1x plus 3. But that's not the same. 0, it'd have to be 0x plus 3. So on this, what we're going to graph it. So what do you graph first? 3. So y'all should have a ruler on your desk or somewhere around you, or you can use a straight edge if you're at home of some sort. Draw an x and a y axis. Just a small graph. Doesn't have to be big. This is x, this is y. So I'm going to graph my b, which is 3. So my y-intercept is at 3. And what does a 0 slope mean? Yeah, it's not moving. Which way am I going to draw the line? Huh? But what kind of line? Remember slope dude? Remember slope dude? Where's 0? What kind of line is that? Horizontal. So 0 slope means it's a horizontal line. So 0 slope, horizontal line. So once we find our y-intercept, draw a horizontal line. And that is our line, y equals 3. Let's label it. Okay, the next example is, let's say we have x equals -2. We had one similar to this on our slope task cards, and then you were asked what's the slope of that. Is this going to even be a function? It doesn't say y equals, so this is not a function. So if it's not a function, it doesn't pass the vertical line test. So I'm going to put that on there. Fails vertical line test. So x equals a number, not a function, fails the vertical line test. So what kind of line would fail the vertical line test? What's the slope of this? If it's going to fail the vertical line test and it's not a function, what options do I have for slope? Undefined, yeah. What kind of line is this? Vertical. So if we have, the slope is going to be undefined, which is going to give us a vertical line. Draw your x and y axis. Where is x equal -2 at? If I start at the origin, where would I go to find x equals -2? Yeah, 2 places to the left. This is at -2. What kind of line am I going to draw? Yep. So this is the line x equals -2. So y equals a number gives us a horizontal line because it has 0 slope. X equals some number is not a function, so it has an undefined slope, which gives us a vertical line. Horizontal line is y equals. Vertical line is x equals. The way somebody tried to help their students remember it is Hoy and Vux. What do you think Hoy means? Huh? Chips Ahoy. What does the H stand for in Hoy? Horizontal. What does the 0 stand for? 0 slope. What would the Y mean? Y equals equation. Chips Ahoy. And then what would VUX mean? Vertical line. What does U mean? Yep, undefined slope. And what is X? It's an X equal equation. Chips Ahoy and VUX. Tux? I don't know what VUX is. All right, so your assignment, you can choose to do it on the computer or on paper. The only thing that's wrong with the paper is the little grid lines did not show up well. But you are going to graph each one of these lines. And it says, ghost are real, they don't sleep. They don't stop getting closer. And they only eat one thing. There's only one thing to do, bust them. There are 9 ghosts, you get 9 shots. A ghost gets busted whenever you graph a line that crosses directly through it. If you graph the 9 lines below, you should bust them all. Work fast because they know who you are and they know you're coming. So if you do it on paper, that's fine. If you want to do it on the actual, let me see if I can pull it up here, show y'all. If you want to do it on the computer, you can. Because we know how to graph them on the computer too, using lines. So it's up to you on how you want to graph them. Just make sure you either label them or color code them. All right.